Oh, yes indeed. How the hell might y'all be doing out there? Today's guest is drummer Blaze Bateh of Brooklyn's own Bambara, or Bambara, which I believe is how it's actually supposed to be pronounced. In any case, having seen them a few times locally here in Brooklyn, I always dug the songs, the performance, and the general vibe, so I was interested in Blaze's insights into the writing and orchestrating these kind of winding, moody soundtrack-esque songs. And given my latter description, I should mention that their last record, Shadow on Everything, was the best representation of them as a band thus far, and definitely a step up in production as well, in my opinion. So check out that and their other releases. Link in the description for that info. Shout out to my sponsor, New Orleans Record Press. If you're looking at putting out vinyl for your project, check out NewOrleansRecordPress.com. They're the first state-of-the-art record pressing facility in the city of New Orleans, and they'll press 12 and 7-inch records in either 150 or 180 gram variants. Plus, they have colored vinyl options, blank and printed packaging styles, deluxe audio mastering, precision lacquer cutting, and electroplating. They'll even offer professional graphic design and project consulting services. Don't see what you want on their site? Need more options? Contact them for special projects. They also do projects of all sizes, from runs as low as 100 units up to commercial pressings in the thousands. So check them out and tell them Crash Bang Boom sent you. And that's NewOrleansRecordPress.com. Crash Bang Boom podcast is now available on Google Play, as well as my SoundCloud, as well as iTunes podcast, as well as my YouTube page, Stitcher, and more. Check out my Instagram and Facebook pages and give me a like, a subscription, a review, etc. It would be greatly appreciated. So here we go. A chat over some vodkas and some mezcals. Check out that Shadows on Everything record. It rules. Blaze Bateh, Crash Bang, Bambara, Bambara, Bang, Boom.
Crowd go mad with joy.
Fucking speech impediment over here. Blaze Bateh of Bambara, what's happening, dude?
Yeah, not much. Just braving the cold.
Yeah, like 2 days ago, I walked out and it was about 9 a.m. and it was 8 below zero and it was super humid. And I walked 3 blocks and my pale, lurid ass, southern ass, unacquainted with this weather kind of skin.
I can relate to
I was like, I had sunglasses on and I looked like a redneck raccoon. I got like just windburn on my face. It was bullshit.
Oh, wow.
I'm just not, I'm not into it. Do you enjoy winter? Do you dig this shit?
No, it's depressing as fuck. Yeah. Because, I mean, it gets dark, so it's not even just the temperature. It gets dark so quickly. And
yeah, 4:30, 4:45.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, it just makes you want to drink immediately. And
absolutely. Yeah, I always have that inclination anyway, but certainly when the sun goes down that much earlier, I'm like, yeah, it's fucking time to go.
Yeah, it's encouraging to get drunk. For sure.
That's funny, man. Well, we were talking about it a little bit earlier, so I'll have you reiterate it. But originally, you and your brother, y'all are from Atlanta?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
How long y'all been in New York, and why New York in the first place?
Let's see. We moved to New York in 2011, the end of August 2011, and it's really, I can't really remember why we decided New York. It was just something that we always just had in the back of our minds. Like, once we finished college, let's just go up to New York. And, and pretty much as soon as we finished, we packed up and got in a U-Haul and came up here. We had some friends here in bands that kind of helped us get familiarized with everything, but
yeah. Was Bambara, had you already started that band to some degree in Atlanta?
Yeah, we started it in Athens when because we went to University of Georgia.
Okay, cool.
Me, Reid, and William, the three of us, and we started. We've honestly been playing together since we were in 6th or 7th grade.
All three of you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Not just you and your brother?
No.
What?
That's pretty
wild.
crazy. Yeah, we've just never stopped. And
whoa.
I mean, it's been different iterations and and styles, but yeah, Bambara started in I guess like 2010 maybe.
Okay.
In
You said
Athens?
Bambara.
Yeah.
Oh, I said Bambara.
Yeah, I don't really care anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I got your name right on the fourth try, but I fucked the band name up. So, you know,
It's
when you
whatever you
lose
want.
some, you
Yeah.
lose some.
Bananarama.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything.
My mother's name is Barbara, and there's a band named Barbara, and then your name. So it's
We thought about
just,
changing it to Barbara at one point, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a strange name. It's my mother's name, and I gotta say, I've never been crazy about that name.
It's a weird one.
It's kind of a strange name. It's one of those names that's not coming back. Even though I
Yeah.
know that these retro names and it's a cyclical nature of all these things, but like.
You think that one's in the grave?
I think my stepmothers, my mother's, and my father. So Connie, Herb, and Barbara.
Oh yeah, those are. Yeah, they're all in a plot together.
I think they're 6 feet under, man.
Yeah.
I don't see them coming back. But I tell you what, some weird Southern shit. My stepmother's family, they were from like central Louisiana, real close to the Mississippi line. Super fucking redneck.
Yep.
God rest her soul. But her mother's name was Furby, which was short for Furbelina.
No fucking way.
Dude, I cannot make this shit up. And her father was in prison for moonshine or something like that, and then he died. So then she remarried, and then the guy that she married went by Alney, and I still
Alney?
don't. Alney. Like I always joked, I was like Allknee, like he had knobby knees, and they just called
Yeah.
him like he's Alney, you know, like I don't even know what the fuck that. I don't know if it was short for something.
Yeah.
But I kid you not, man, it's like we're gonna go see Furby and Alney. What kind of ridiculous redneck shit is
Furbelina, you said?
Furbelina.
What is that from even?
Fuck if I know, man. Some country dyslexic weird shit. I have no idea. I don't know if letters just got shifted and it was something else. I have no idea, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. So aside from that tangent, it sounds like you and your
I got
brother.
some redneck family for sure.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah, my mom's side.
Really?
Rome, Georgia is
Is
where
that
she's from.
okay?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, man. You and your brother, it sounds like, and the other member of this band now have been playing, like you said, since the 6th grade. But when did you and your brother start playing together, and what was the deciding factor? Was there a particular record that you were digging, or did you grow up in a musical household?
We our parents always played music all the
Okay.
time. My mom constantly had like Motown playing.
Okay.
And
Not instruments themselves, but they had music playing in the
right,
house.
exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they don't really play any instruments, but
Yeah.
but they've always been really into it. My dad's always been into Zeppelin and the Beatles, but I started playing the drums because of that movie, That Thing You Do. Did you ever see that?
Do I even know that?
It was like a Tom Hanks movie.
Really?
He produced it or something, or directed it. But like, it's about a band in the '60s, kind of like the Beatles, who the drummer was like the main cool guy in the movie,
Really?
and I used to get made fun of a lot, and I was like, I want to be like that guy.
The cool guy.
Yeah. So.
You were wrong.
Yeah.
You chose the wrong instrument. I
Yeah,
think your
could
brother
be
might have gone the right route.
Yeah. I should have watched a few more movies.
Exactly.
But,
That's wild. Well, when did your brother start getting it? Did you
so,
gravitate towards it and then?
Yeah, so my parents got me a drum kit for my birthday in like 4th grade, and it just kind of sat there.
Yeah.
The first thing I tried to do was play the Mortal Kombat soundtrack.
Wow. Impressive.
Yeah, which is like not even real drums on any of those songs. So I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Open to interpretation. That could work.
Exactly. And so I just kind of like, I was like, well, this blows, and I stopped playing for But whenever kids would come over and play, they would always try to play my drums. I'd be like, stop touching my drums.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though I never even played them.
Right.
But yeah, I finally, I convinced Reid to get a guitar, I think, just so I could have somebody to play with. And 6th grade is when he and I started playing together.
Okay.
And we started taking lessons the same time. And then I guess William came along in 7th grade. So
Okay.
So yeah, we had a year without William, but that's how it all started.
And early on, you had said that obviously throughout the years it's been varying iterations of it. But early on, what stylistically were y'all leaning to when you first started? 'Cause
Oh, man.
I talk about it every now and again. I unearthed like a demo tape of technically my second band.
How old were you?
Maybe 17.
Okay.
And God, it's so fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's just mortifyingly god awful.
Yeah, when you're that young, you try to stick everything you know about the instrument into like every song.
Yeah.
Like crazy fills and
Yeah.
like all these things. you don't really understand letting a song breathe and exist.
And beyond that, it's just like everything is so derivative because you have yet to develop a style.
yeah.
You know, some people spend their whole lives and never develop a style, but you certainly rarely just start off and just have it. You know,
Right.
So you inevitably just sound like
Yeah, because you start out playing covers and then
exactly. So yeah, when I listened back to that stuff, I was like, oh well, that's pretty apropos for the time. Like it sounds like we were listening to Primus and Helmet, and we were trying to sound like both of those bands. And that's pretty much exactly what the fuck was happening.
Right.
Only we were just a terrible version of those bands.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, but you got to go through all that. That's just part of it.
exactly.
But yeah, we were like super into Blink-182. And
That's hilarious. Pop
was it.
punk.
Oh yeah, we got devoured by that. Yeah, we didn't really have any older siblings to show us like cool shit.
I'm an only child, so I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, and back then the internet was like barely anything.
Right.
So yeah, you're just kind of stuck with what's on the radio and TV, and
Yeah.
Blink-182 really resonated with us. So yeah, we were pop punk as fuck for a while, and then like middle school, then high school, we got into like Mars Volta, and
Yeah.
You know-
it's a game changer.
yeah, like and we're like, wow, you can do this with music, and
Fuck yeah, dude. Did you happen to see them early on with John Theodore?
yeah, I did.
Me too.
He's still one of my favorite drummers.
100%. He's badass. He's
Yeah.
incredible.
Because I stopped listening to them pretty early, but my main takeaway from that band was just that guy. John was amazing.
Yeah, the bombast, the undeniable like Bonham attributes that he had, and
totally.
it was
And the Vista Lights too,
and the Vista Lights and the whole thing. But then a little bit of Billy Cobham, and I mean he's talked about those
yeah,
influences.
he loves Billy
You
Cobham.
can hear that in his
Totally.
playing. Like
it's a cool
prog
mixture.
Bonham.
Yeah, hearing the Cobham with the Bonham presentation is just fucking rad.
Yeah. John Theodore is interesting because the first time that I heard him, I saw him playing with his previous band, Golden.
I remember Golden. I had their CD.
Yeah, I have like Apollo Stars, I believe, is the one that I have.
The illustrations.
That's
of
right.
their faces.
Yeah. And I went because I heard like somebody from Trans Am was playing in a band at the Mermaid Lounge at the time in New Orleans. So
Okay.
I just showed up knowing nothing. And I was outside and I was like, who the fuck is this drummer? They had just started. And I was like, wow, this from outside, I just had it. He had a presence. And I was like,
Yeah.
what is going on with this guy? And I went in and watched and then was just blown away by him.
And I guess that's how he got asked to join Mars Volta, right?
Yeah.
Because Golden played with.
Yeah, de facto or one of those,
Yeah, I think it
some
was de
weird
facto.
connection or something,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, so the Mars Volta spun your head around.
Yeah, that was, and yeah, I tried to emulate all that drumming, to no avail, obviously. But yeah, he's another guy that I really fell in love with was Mac McNeely from Jesus Lizard.
Oh, he's badass.
My uncle played in a band with him in high school, actually.
Come on, that's wild, really.
Yeah, I know, because he's from Atlanta, Mac,
Right, shit.
and they grew up together playing in a band. What do they call it? Acropolis, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, my uncle was always saying that like he was by far the best part of that band. And
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, he had another great style. I actually hear Jesus Lizard in some of your band,
Oh, totally.
I think there's aspects of that.
Definitely,
With
yeah.
like the darker Nick Cave, aspects to it.
For sure.
But it's cool. It's interesting actually. I didn't really grow up, and even until recently, I never really liked the sort of early 80s sort of Britpop stuff like Depeche Mode and like, some of those other bands. And recently more so from listening to like your band and the Last Daughters record, I've realized I've gone back to some of that darker kind of weird English pop like stuff that always sounds like they're being rained on and they're sad. And I've actually appreciated it. So it's been this reverse process of beginning to actually appreciate that more via appreciating your band and like the Daughters record.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, we love Daughters, they're good friends of ours, and
Yeah, I saw Lex gave y'all a shout out as one of his favorite records of 2018.
yeah, that was cool, man. And we played with them at Vitus like 2 years ago, maybe.
Nice, really? I didn't know that.
It was one of their first comeback shows, and it was amazing.
Dude, did you happen to see them this last time they came through town?
No, we were on tour.
Oh, fucking A.
Yeah.
Yeah, I interviewed the drummer John, and I saw them both nights. They were killing, man. You know, 6-piece band. They got the chick playing keyboards and then additional guitars to just make it that much more outrageous.
Yeah,
Of all of
exactly.
Nick Sadler's insane guitar playing.
And I think Chris from Metz is playing bass with them now.
Oh, okay. That would
Yeah.
make sense.
He's doing this tour at least.
Okay.
We were supposed to do some tour dates with them, but it didn't end up working out with some of our band members are out of town.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
I know, that would have been sick.
back to it, man. So at some point, y'all are playing in all these bands, you and your brother, and doing this whole thing. But you don't really recall why necessarily New York?
No, I really don't know.
That's so strange. Like, it could have been anywhere. Maybe it's just because you said, I mean, some of your friends were here, and then that maybe just made sense.
They weren't even friends as much as it's like bands we've played with, and we knew they lived here, so it would be a smoother transition. But we moved up here with most of our friends like the same year.
Really? It was just a mass migration from Georgia to New York.
Yeah, and a lot of we all still live here. In fact, one of them is still me and Reid's roommate.
Really?
And we've lived in the same apartment for 7 years.
Dude, that never happens.
No, it's insane.
Where do you live? Are you in Brooklyn?
Yeah, Bushwick.
Oh, you're on Bushwick, right on.
Yeah, we found a place our priority was to find a place with a basement.
Oh, okay.
And
wait, are y'all able to rehearse there?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of town.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, that's
You just landed at a place where you can rehearse there, and you've been there for 7 years?
That's why we haven't moved, and we record down there, and
dude, you better knock on motherfucking wood.
I
Oh
know.
shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's like it used to be 3 of us living in this basement with no walls. It was just mattress,
Yeah.
and then amps and drums.
Wow, bohemian lifestyle.
Yeah, it was like that for a while, and then a couple years ago we put some walls up.
Right on.
No doors yet, but
Oh wow,
walls
you at least have some walls.
Yeah.
That is wild. Well, at least you managed to figure out a way to navigate the exorbitant costs of living here, and if you can survive and still tour and pursue art and be able to both rehearse and live in the same place, it sounds like you. I mean,
that's the reason we came here, and so
that's uncommon though, dude.
Oh, I know.
That just doesn't happen like that.
No, it doesn't.
So y'all
We're
are
lucky.
lucky.
Yeah.
So what do you think about New York thus far, other than the bullshit winters?
Yeah. I love New York. Yeah, it's funny. Just like any place, when you tour somewhere, travel somewhere, you get a taste of it, and you're like, oh, this is amazing.
Right.
But then once you live there, you realize that your experience is totally different. You go to like the same 4 places every day or every week, and
I'm gonna go to the same 2 bars tonight that I've been going to for the last God only knows how many years.
Totally, yeah. And I go to the bodega or the taco place around the corner every single day to eat. But I love all the possibilities that can happen here. There's so much so much chaos, and nothing is very predictable, and I like that.
That is nice about it.
Yeah, and anonymity is nice too, because when I lived in Athens, it's like everybody knew everybody. And,
right.
Yeah, you see somebody walking on the street, and you're like, when do I give them a head nod, or like, at what point do I wave? Yeah. It's like these little things you don't have to worry about here. It
is interesting, man, because for me, coming from the deep South, like I had never seen like an entire population walk fast. When I came to New York, I was like, man, it's as if everyone has somewhere to go. Yeah. And I'm not even being sarcastic.
Down, y'all.
I was actually like really blown away that everyone had somewhere to go.
Yeah,
and they were really in a hurry to get there.
That was the thing that took me a while to get used to, because everything, I mean, it's a cliche, but everything is slower in the South.
Fuck yeah, it is,
and people,
dude. New Orleans is at a crawl.
Yeah, it really
oh my
is.
God.
We used to just like hang out.
Yeah.
In Athens.
Yeah. What are y'all doing this weekend? We're just gonna hang out.
I haven't hung out in like 7 years. At all.
Oh my God.
If I have a second to think, I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't. What am I?
Am I fucking this up?
I'm supposed to be somewhere. Yeah, what's going on?
Oh my God.
And whenever I go back, it's like my friends will just be like, yeah, let's go down to the pool, get some beer, and hang out. I'm like, fuck. I just feels like about to jump out of my skin.
I know. Well, it is a thing in the South, right? You can like convene at a place and like sit around and like drink beer, and just fucking hang out.
And you can work only a few days a week.
Right.
Then,
yeah.
Because it's so much cheaper down there. That's one plus of Athens, is being an artist is you can totally just work a few days and then just spend all your time working on music.
Right. Have you found that balance hard being in New York?
I think we actually work on music more in New York.
Really?
Yeah, we used to party so much in Athens. And but yeah, now that it's kind of gridded out, like these days we work for these hours and stuff, we get a lot more done.
Right.
Especially now we have an album coming out in October. We'll see, but
Ideally,
yeah. And so we're kind of in hyperspeed right now, just writing every single day and for like 10 hours in the basement.
Really?
Yeah.
How are y'all able to survive and outside of rehearsing and playing and touring?
The nighttime jobs.
Okay.
Yeah, so Reid and William work at bars.
Okay.
And then I do motion graphics, like
freelance.
Cool. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I haven't done that in a while. My money's definitely draining. So we'll see. Might have to start selling some shit.
Right. Once again, it's awesome that y'all were able to find a way to make it happen, because I know so many people come here with the idea of being able to access all of the awesomeness and just so many events and so much that's happening here, but inevitably get caught up with financially trying to still make that happen and balance out having a creative force in your life at all.
Yeah.
And so many people just, get disillusioned and say, fuck it.
Yeah, it's become exhilarating for me. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. But
What do your parents think about y'all living in New York?
they love it. I mean, they're so supportive. It's crazy.
Do they come visit y'all?
They come a few times, and we're down there a lot because of tour. We try
Right.
we try to put like a day before and after so we can hang out.
Nice.
But yeah, they've always been. It's so funny. Like even now when we're writing songs, our dad always wants to hear. Well, both of our parents do, but they always want to hear everything as we're demoing. So
Really?
we'll like write a song and be like, I wonder if our dad's gonna like that. Like in the back of our fucking head.
That's hilarious. Do they ever give you like negative critiques or like anything or any feedback?
It'll never be like straight up negative, but it'll be like, yeah, that was interesting or something, something like that.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes they'll just be like, that was fucking awesome, or
Yeah.
and it's funny that it's kind of like a tradition at this point. We'll like show it to our parents before anybody. And I feel like they both have really good ear for music too. It's their feedback's pretty spot on. But yeah, they've always been so supportive. Reid and I used to practice in our living room.
Right.
Like you walk in our house and then all of our shit's just set up. We'd play loud as fuck, like his
Yeah.
amp all the way up to 10.
Yeah.
And my parents would just go into a different room and hang out. And then we did that with like every room in our house.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. We took it for granted back then, but now it seems
I think about it
insane.
all the time, like just the tolerance that my
Yeah.
parents had. Because, once again, that's always the case. If you're the drummer, the band inevitably ends up practicing there because of the drums.
Exactly.
So I can't imagine like listening to the.
So is it your house?
Yeah. And then it's like one thing to hear you practicing all the time, and it's another thing to hear your shitty bands playing all the time.
Oh, I
Like,
know.
just fuck.
The tolerance is insane.
It's amazing. I don't
Yeah.
know that I have it.
I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I really don't. I can barely stand to hear yard work outside. before
Exactly.
I lose my mind.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you about Shadow on Everything, man. It's a super cool record.
thank you.
Your band is interesting because, and it's kind of a testament to the idea that every now and then again, it's good to show up at a club that has a few local bands on it, because you might see a cool band.
Oh, yeah.
I went to go see another band, and I believe y'all played before or after, but I caught some of your set, and I was like, oh, this band's fucking cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I saw y'all probably 3 or 4 more times after that, and always enjoyed it. But I really dig this last record, and it's a step up in production from the one prior, and it's just a really fucking cool record. So
Thanks, man.
I guess tell me a little bit about writing and recording it and the whole experience of it.
As far as the production goes, we Dream Violence and Swarm, we pretty much did. We recorded Dream Violence ourselves and mixed it.
Yeah.
Then the next album we recorded with Ben Greenberg, who's in Uniform.
Okay.
He's phenomenal, but we didn't have the money to mix it, to get anyone else to mix it, so we mixed it and kind of just like destroyed it.
Really?
Like the actual recordings that he did were awesome, but we threw all these fucking plugins on it and shit and mixed it ourselves. And I'm still happy with the record. I love it, but it can sound so much better. And I think we plan to remix it
Right.
in the future.
Yeah.
And then Shadow on Everything, we finally just like went back down to Athens and mixed it with our old friend Drew Vandenberg, and he just brought it to life and expanded it, and he recorded it up here with Andy Chug, who was another good. He was in Pot 1280. We recorded it with him and then mixed it in the South with Drew. But you're asking about the writing and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard to say. All of our songs come about in totally different ways. There's no set formula for anything.
Does your brother ever come in with a fully written, because he has a very kind of dark poetic narrative style that he does.
Yeah.
So does he just come in with a piece and then do you put music to that, or is it more a jam and he's improv and then you know?
The lyrics are always the very last thing.
Okay.
And because he likes to be in the same headspace for every song, as opposed to like writing a song and then months later writing another one. He likes to just sit down and bang it all out. So yeah, we pretty much wrote everything, and then like the 2 weeks leading up to his vocal tracking, he just like cranked out all the lyrics. And
Really?
but yeah, let's see. Dark Circles, the first song, came about in the studio. Just all of a sudden, William just started playing this bass thing, and I started playing the drum part.
Really? So y'all didn't have that written going into it?
That was the most impromptu of them all, I think.
Wow.
And then we went back and overdubbed everything, and it became like the perfect intro to the story and everything.
Yeah.
Doe-Eyed Girl was a track that we had demoed it out like over and over again, different ways, and it finally came into its own in post-production as well. We're the type of band that we record everything and then just totally change it all. There's the last song, Back Home, on the album. It's called Back Home. We had to turn it in to get mastered the following day, and we just spent like that all night before we turned it in. We just completely took it apart and rebuilt it, and then,
really
until the morning, and then turned it in to get mastered. So,
were you like, I hope we got that right?
Yeah,
in
exactly.
a state of delirium.
Exactly. Yeah, we were up all night doing it, and it sounds totally different than it did. But I'm so happy we did it, because that was the one song we were just kind of like, I don't know about this one. But yeah, we made it work.
I really like the audio tree recording as well, and the performance and everything.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That was funny, man, because we had to do that at like 10 in the morning.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we were in Chicago. We played a show the night before. Then we woke up ass early and drove over there. And yeah, we thought they were gonna have like beer and stuff, but they didn't. They're like, yeah, we have beer, and there was like 3 beers. So we played. That's probably the most sober show we've played in years.
Really?
Which is probably why I played everything so fucking fast.
Yeah. It sounded good to me, man.
Thanks. It was fun, and it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
They do a great job.
Well, I know that you did a little run, you and your brother, for that matter, did a run with Liars, right?
Yeah, that was
out of New York. For those who don't know Liars, I guess they were in that mix of New York bands and other bands that were, I called it the sort of like early 2000s no wave revitalization, where it's like noisy dance rock, the early Liars stuff. And I kind of lost track a little bit of them in more recent times, but I know with the earlier stuff. But how did you and your brother end up jamming with and touring or doing the thing with Liars?
It was completely random. Reid and I have always been huge fans of Liars. Like, Jump's Not Dead is one of our favorite albums.
Yeah.
I was just on the computer, and I got a random email from a friend of mine who does touring sound for Liars.
Oh, cool.
And he tours with Health as well, and some other bands, but yeah, he just randomly emailed me. I didn't talk to him in years, and he was like, "Hey, quick question. Do you want to drum with Liars?" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, they have like a world tour coming up, and they need a drummer." And then he was like, "Also, they need a guitarist." And I was like, "Well, shit, man. My brother plays guitar. We're both huge fans." And he was like, "Cool."
Wow.
And that was pretty much it. So Reid and I started practicing all these songs, and Angus, who lives in Australia, flew to New York and rehearsed with us for a couple of weeks.
Wow.
And then then we were off on tour, and it was cool playing in that project, because it's all to a grid pretty much, the live show, because there's so many backing tracks.
Right. So you're playing with a click the whole time?
Yeah, it was like it felt like a video game. It was fun.
Wow.
Yeah, because with the Bambara, it's totally loose and whatever. But
totally. Yeah.
But with Liars,
drunken dark swagger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, having a click would kill all that for sure.
Totally. It really would. That's an interesting distinction to make, though.
Yeah.
2 totally different styles, but yeah, the sort of breathability in what y'all do is crucial.
Yeah, we like to leave room for chance in live shows, and
sure,
there's a lot of pauses where Reid will cue things in, whatever pace he wants, and yeah, I kind of like that spontaneity. But with Liars, it was fun, because I'd have like little cues, like cowbell cues, for when to like stop playing something.
Wow.
Like, boop, boop, boop,
Yeah.
And I'd stop, then it would come back in.
How did the shows go, and how were the crowds and everything?
Oh, they were great. Angus has such a huge devoted fan base.
Totally.
He's a true artist, that guy, and he's a great dude on top of that. But yeah, the shows were amazing, and he's still just as energetic as ever.
Yeah.
and he's just like this six. It's funny because when Reid and I are walking with him, it's like we're both like 5'7",
Yeah.
and then he's like 6'6" or something. So like, we're pretty funny, like walking through airports together. Just
Yeah.
But yeah, Angus is a wild man live. He even like jumped into my drums at our Paris show, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was fun.
Good times,
Which
man.
is kind of horrifying seeing this huge dude just like come
Right.
at you. But
What going forward? Are there plans in the future to potentially do another run with him if the opportunity arises?
yeah, I think it's definitely in the air. It all really depends on what his next record is going to be like.
Right.
And he's been writing that, but yeah, he could very well decide to just do it solo or with other
Right.
people. But yeah, we're down whenever.
When did y'all start doing your first like tours? Even if it was for a week, two, a couple of weeks, whatever.
Let's see. Definitely in college. I don't know. Probably sophomore year of college.
Okay. How did those go?
Oh God.
Terrible, right?
Yeah, terrible. But since it's all you know, you're like loving it.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like,
Living the dream.
yeah, and it's your first time going like out of town, and yeah, the shows were fucking awful. You get the occasional like one-off but I still luckily ignorance is bliss, and we just had a great time.
That's wild.
And
Are there any particularly strange shows that you recall playing on some of those early runs? Because I know people will play house parties, and sometimes God only knows. It could go so many different ways and get so weird when you're just running and gunning and don't know any better.
House parties though were awesome. Our worst show probably ever was in Dalton, Georgia. We played someone told us that we should go play there, and we went up there, and it was the same night as a big football game, so everybody was at this game, and we played to an empty room, and I remember just like this kid walked in who was probably like 12 years old, smoking a cigarette, and he was like holding hands with this like really tall girl that was like his girlfriend, and he just stood there and watched us for about like 10 seconds and shook his head, and they just both walked out.
That was your crowd for the night?
That was the crowd, and then we kind of were laughing about it, and I just like took my shirt off and swung it around my head and threw it out as a joke, threw it out onto the floor, and there was this older woman who I think ran the venue or something. And she just walked over to my shirt, picked it up, folded it neatly, and like put it on this table for me.
Oh, that was so sweet of her.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, darling, you might need this later."
Yeah, exactly. So Southern. And
That's so nice of her.
yeah, but so that was pretty soul crushing. if we didn't have a sense of humor about it, we just turned it into like a practice. We just started working on new music.
That's all you could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, been there, done that for sure. I mean, the one liberating thing about it is like, all right, let's just see how stupid we can play this.
Yeah, exactly.
At times I've been there like, well, there's nobody here, and I'm ready to get the fuck out of here because this gig sucks. So
Yeah.
I will play the songs, but I'm going to play them absurdly fast.
Yeah.
I'm going to drive all of you crazy and all of my bandmates crazy, just seeing if they can even keep up with this absurd pace I'm about to play these fucking songs.
Yeah, it's fun to shake it up like that.
Pulled that off before.
Yeah.
No one's there anyway.
I pulled that off without meaning to a lot.
Fucking A, man. Well, what's going on in 2019? Just more rehearsals and trying to maybe get a record out hopefully this year?
Yeah, so we're pretty much just devoted to this writing right now. Everything's just focused on that. And we're probably not going to play another show till May.
Okay.
Honest, that's our plan is probably to just do one more big one. Because we played at Rough Trade, and it was awesome. It was our first time headlining a venue that big. Just fucking packed. And
That's awesome.
And it wasn't... And I didn't know like the majority of the crowd, which is
That's great.
It's just something different.
Yeah.
People were singing the words.
Wow.
It was so cool. And we had a couple friends playing sax with us too, because there's a lot of sax on the record. And I think we're gonna try to do that one more time in the summer, and maybe even have some strings, one last blowout before the next album.
Yeah.
We might go to Europe this summer if we're talking about doing some festivals maybe. But
Okay.
But
Have y'all been over there yet?
Yeah, we've been 3 times now, I think.
Okay.
First time was with A Place to Bury Strangers.
Nice.
They asked us to open for them in 2013, and we were there for 6 weeks, and it was so fucking fun. We were broke as shit, and like sleeping in our van most of the time, because as a support band, you don't get any amenities really,
Right.
and hardly any money, But yeah, it was just such a fun experience.
Do you feel that initial exposure has allowed y'all to then go back and then did you seen some of the benefits from that?
Yeah, there's something about Europe where people aren't as flaky music fans. Once they like you, they're kind of devoted to you, or at least they pay attention still.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so we still have people that email us like, I saw you in Poland in 2013. When are you coming back?
Wow.
But in America, I think maybe it's just the way the media ushers in new stuff and kicks out. It's a lot
The
harder.
attention span is fucked.
Yeah, like a lot of the same bands that tour here don't do nearly as well as they do in Europe.
Right.
Still, and it's like, but yeah, so that was really helpful. And then we went back and did it was Plays Very Strangers. Then we tacked on a few dates with Metz.
Oh,
too.
cool.
And that's where we met those guys. And
Nice.
yeah, they were fucking awesome. And then we went back in 2016 and did our first headlining tour over there, and it was cool. A lot more people came than we thought would. Then we went back this year, and it was like a huge leap forward.
Really?
Yeah, it was after Shadow came out. I think people really started to understand what we were going for, because a lot of that is due to the production. But but yeah,
It definitely does y'all justice. I think it's which is great, and it has to have a little bit of that live, once again, that sort of breath within it. And
Exactly.
The space and the natural vibe or whatever, ambience of, I don't know if y'all recorded in big rooms or what, but it kind of has that vibe, and it has
Cool.
a darkness.
That's always a goal. We never wanted to sound suffocated. We want it to sound alive in some form. Like, you never know what will happen. So, So yeah, this last tour was amazing. And
Were y'all able to? Were y'all headline? Were you doing your own shows?
yeah, we did the whole thing was headlining. And what really helped also was we did a tour with that band Idols.
Oh, cool.
From the UK. Have you checked them out before?
I know of them. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with their music, but I know of them.
Yeah, you should check them out.
Okay.
He's John's an awesome drummer, but yeah, it's the best dudes in the world, and we opened for them at Rough Trade last March, and it was before they really blew up. Mm-hmm. And that night they were pretty much like, we want to go on tour with you guys. So when the US tour came around, they hit us up, and we did a full US tour opening for them, and most of the shows were sold out.
Wow.
They're fucking huge now, especially in Europe. But honestly, that exposure really opened us up to so many people, and especially in the UK. And
That's cool.
yeah, and it just helps so much. And yeah, I love those dudes. I recommend checking that band out. They're
Well, shit, Blaze, it was fun talking to you, man. Thanks for
Yeah.
swinging by. Once again, congrats on the record. I know we're
Thanks.
many months beyond when it was actually released,
Yeah.
but I am a fan of
good.
it and your band, and
Cool.
best of luck going forward. And I'm definitely interested with what this next record holds, and where y'all
too.
going and what you're gonna do.
Thanks. Yeah.
Pay some bills, man.
Yeah. God damn.
Right on, Blaze. Good talking to you, man.
You too.
All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in, and thanks to Blaze for rapping. And be on the lookout for them coming through a town near you. They certainly rule live, and you got to check them out. Links in the description for the Bambara records and live performances, etc. We'll catch you on the next one. Crash, bang, boom.